7 tips for using social media as a weirdo. If you're running a business/brand page on social media and you're concerned about its growth, stop worrying. There are billions of people who are active on social media, which means this is the best place to increase awareness and exposure of your brand or business, as long as you're using proper social media strategies. In this tutorial, we'll explain 7 tips for using social media as a weirdo to increase awareness and exposure of your brand. Whether you're launching a new brand or running a new business on social media, the best place to get started is with SMART goals. This acronym stands for Simple, Measurable, Achievable, Realistic, Time-bound. If your goals do not fit within these parameters, you must revisit them. Choose your platform carefully. Another useful tip is to carefully choose your social media platform. Over time, there are new, better platforms being established, which can make it hard to choose. However, choosing the one with the largest population of your target demographic is a great place to start. This will help you increase your follower account on other platforms. Know about target demographic and take appropriate steps. Once you've set your SMART goals and you've chosen your platform, you want to consider your target demographic and get all the information you can about them. This is who will determine whether your brand or business is successful. Pay close attention to the posts that they engage with and the content they're interested in, as well as the platform where they are most active. This will help you find out a lot so that you can create more engaging content and therefore increase your visitor and follower count. Increase follower count with a winning game plan. Research has proven that when you create/follow strategies for your social media platforms, you're more likely to be successful than those that do not. Therefore, you must take the time to learn and implement as many social media strategies as you can come up with to make your dreams come true. Here are a few things to consider. Highlight upcoming events/festivals. Create custom hashtags for your posts. Follow a theme and make it interesting for your audience. Make sure your audience is engaged on your campaigns, trends, and features. Utilize helpful tools on social media platforms. One of the ways you can grow on social media platforms is to use the tools that are available to you. As mentioned previously, pay attention to the actions and behaviors of your target audience. Of course, it's not always feasible to stay up all night to wait until your followers are online. Therefore, use a contact scheduler so that your content can be posted at the time you choose without you having to lose sleep. Use the storytelling method. Research has shown that one of the most effective ways to spur people to act on something is through storytelling. People believe in stories/experiences that are packed with emotion, which will increase your brand awareness, which also makes your brand grow. Additionally, storytelling builds an emotional attachment, which helps your audience relate to your stories. Implement emote icons. Emote icons are a great way to increase engagement on your content and deliver the appropriate meaning to your audience. People are able to understand the tone, direction, and nature of your content. In the world of social media, plain text looks boring. Conclusion. These tips may seem a bit on the simple side, but they are highly effective for helping you learn to use social media as a weirdo. Sure, you'll have to put some time and effort into them, but there's nothing in the world that comes easy. The results that you achieve will be completely worth it in the long run. 10 inspirational quotes for and by weird people. Unfortunately, weirdness, or uniqueness, is something that most people in the world simply don't know how to appreciate. Most people are more comfortable around conventional or normal people. After all, this seems to be the much safer choice. However, eccentricity is often synonymous with authenticity and a strong sense of self-confidence. Often we hide the best parts of ourselves because we're afraid that others are going to reject or misunderstand us. After all, it's happened, either to us or to people that we know, and sometimes at a very young age. Part of the human condition is the desire to be liked and to conform to the box we're supposed to be in. At some point, there comes a time when we realize that we don't want people to like us for something or someone we are not. This is the point where you learn to embrace your weirdness and learn to appreciate your unique self, flaws and all. In this presentation, we'll provide you with 10 inspiration quotes for and by weird people that will encourage you to be yourself, no matter how weird you may seem to others. In nature, nothing is perfect. Trees can be contorted, bent in weird ways, and they're still beautiful. Alice Walker. Be weird, be random, be who you are, because you never know who would love the person you hide. Unknown. There's no such thing as a weird human being. It's just that some people require more understanding than others. Tom Robbins. I'd rather be weird and happy than normal and miserable. Suzanne Colasanti. I don't see myself as weird. I just see myself as honest. Tori Amos. I like weird people. The black sheep, the odd ducks, the rejects, the eccentrics, the loners, the lost and forgotten. More often than not, these people have the most beautiful souls. Unknown. I am convinced that the only people worthy of consideration in this world are the unusual ones, for the common folks are like the leaves of a tree and live and die unnoticed. L. Frank Baum. I think everyone's weird. We should all celebrate our individuality and not be embarrassed or ashamed of it. Johnny Depp. All forms of madness, bizarre habits, awkwardness in society, general clumsiness are justified in the person who creates good art. Roman Paine. Blessed are the weird people, poets, misfits, writers, mystics, painters, troubadours, for they teach us to see the world through different eyes. Jacob Nordby. Conclusion. You must learn to embrace your weirdness. Sure, not everyone is going to fall in love with who you are, and that's perfectly okay. Not everyone has to like you. The only thing that matters is that you learn to like yourself and be true to yourself. Don't ever let anyone get you down. Debunking 5 common myths about weirdness. There are 5 self-beliefs that have an impact on your performance. If you ever find yourself thinking or believing any of these, be careful. On the other hand, if you do hold any of these beliefs, you can be optimistic because beliefs can be changed. In this presentation, we're going to debunk 5 common myths about weirdness. This will help you become aware of what needs to change and understand how your behavior is influenced by your motives. Success is determined by how you compare with others. When it comes to our personal and professional agendas, we all set our own standards of excellence. We compare ourselves to our past achievements. We compare ourselves to objective standards. We compare ourselves to other people. These comparison points determine our goals. I cannot obtain happiness. Many people believe that their weirdness will keep them from obtaining happiness, no matter what they're trying to do. They believe that they're just as likely to find a unicorn in the White House. However, it is possible to achieve happiness. Here's what you must do. Figure out your values. Understand that attaining certain goals isn't the answer. I'm not in control of the world. According to Carol Dweck, a psychologist, we have one of 2 primary viewpoints that affect how we interact with the world. We believe that we can change and grow with personal effort, or we are at the mercy of the world, unable to influence our own destiny. My skill/ability is extraordinary. A survey from 2018 indicated that 73% of nearly 3,000 college-educated Americans believed that they were above average intelligence. Unfortunately, skill inflation is a major issue in the workplace. A college graduate will show up for a job thinking they can do it when, in reality, they're not even close to being prepared. In addition to derailing your career, overconfidence in your skills makes you seem hopeless because you have no clue that your performance is subpar. When you're in a professional environment, you may have a hard time recognizing the obvious, and instead of trying to improve, you just keep looking for validation for your own beliefs while ignoring information that conflicts them. It's my motivational type. As humans, we have a voracious desire to try to find the reason for certain behaviors, outcomes, and events. If something doesn't work out right, we want to know who caused it and why it happened. If something does work out perfectly, we snatch up credit and then try to find out how and why it was a successful outcome so that it can be repeated in the future. We also enjoy not expending cognitive effort when we can. Why should we think/reason if it's possible to generalize? This pattern of seeking causes an event, and also resting our brain causes us to label others based on certain characteristics and traits. We use labels to justify our identities and behaviors. Labeling ourselves and others becomes an issue that leads to inaccurately branding others for several reasons. For example, though some consultants/authors would like you to believe it, there is actually no such thing as fixed motivation. Though you might exhibit some dominant motivations, your behaviors actually change with the situation. When we generalize, we assume that everyone that falls under that certain label have the same motivations. They really don't. Sometimes a person is labeled and they act the way they are labeled because that's what they think is expected. Conclusion. If you find that you have any of these weird thoughts or behaviors, don't stress too much over it. The truth is, when you become aware of it and decide that you want to change, you'll be able to. Hopefully, this has helped you to debunk 5 common myths about weirdness. How to foster creativity, one day at a time. Looking back through human history, you can see that value has been placed on creativity. Some have even referred to it as the skill of the future. Perhaps this is because creativity helps individuals adapt to uncertainties and solve issues as they come up. Some research suggests that creativity is a more accurate predictor of extended lifespan than intelligence or openness to experience. In this tutorial, we'll teach you how to foster creativity one day at a time. Steps to fostering creativity daily. Here are 8 steps to fostering creativity in your daily life. Make a plan. The very first step to fostering creativity is to work on your craft. While this may seem obvious, the truth is many of us forget that in order to be successful, we must work hard and practice. We can't just sit still doing the same thing every day and expect to see improvement. In order to grow, we must consistently water our soil. One way to do this is to make a plan. Set aside time on a daily basis to work on specific things. Additionally, set goals for yourself. Creating a plan instills commitment. Giving yourself deadlines helps you to manage and track your progress. Most of all, this will keep you accountable. Carry a journal. In some cases, you may feel like you're running around with no time to foster your creativity. However, don't let this limit you. Keep a journal with you at all times. This way, you can pull it out and jot down ideas as they come up. This will help you spark your creativity when you have time to work on it. Establish a notes section on your phone or computer. If you're like most people, you use your phone and/or your computer to check your messages, answer emails, check social media, interact with clients, surf the internet, and more. One of the best and most convenient ways to record your ideas is to use a notes app on your phone or computer. Unplug. Instead of mindlessly surfing the internet, binge watching a favourite show on Netflix or scrolling through social media, spend that time being creative. If you'll use this time 1 to 2 days a week, you'll find that you actually do have more time to be creative. Work on something different. Sometimes you may get stuck in a rut, and the best way to get out of that rut is to find something new and different to work on. When you set aside time to pursue something different than your normal creative activities, you may surprise yourself, open up new ideas or processes, and maybe even feel more inspired to get back to what you're familiar with. Wake up early. Believe it or not, waking up just 30 minutes early can change your entire day. This will actually help you have way more time than you usually do. Plus, you'll begin the day by getting your creative work taken care of. This helps eliminate any stress you have trying to get it done at the end of the day when you're exhausted or uninspired. Taking care of creative work early in the day will help you start in a more positive way. When you make waking up early part of your routine, creativity will feel like a normal part of the day instead of an obligation. Create an inspirational space. If you find something that inspires you, email the link to yourself or pin it to your Pinterest board or bookmark it. This will ensure that you don't forget about it and you can find it again in the future. Plus, it will give you a list of inspirational content in the future when you find yourself stuck. Embrace the mess. The truth is, everything you create is not going to be a headline-worthy piece. However, don't let this get you down. The important thing is practice, not perfection. Embrace the mess and understand that success is an ongoing process. Enjoy the process, even the mistakes, and let yourself grow. Conclusion. There has always been value placed on creativity. However, in our day-to-day lives, we often get busy and forget to take time to be creative. These tips can help you foster creativity on a daily basis. Weird people lead people. One of the biggest things that leaders struggle with is learning to embrace their weirdness. But if you don't learn how to do this, you're going to miss out on one of the easiest ways to strengthen your team and create a wonderful company culture. When you're trying to build weirdness into your team, the ultimate goal is to develop a company that's 100% authentic. When you are a leader, there are many benefits of letting your weirdness show around your employees. In this presentation, we'll explain some of the benefits of weird people leading people. 3 benefits of being a weird leader. Many people believe that as a leader, they have to display professionalism at all times. But the truth is, it's perfectly acceptable and even encouraged to be weird. Here are 3 benefits. You encourage employees to be themselves. When you're building your team, you may find that some of your new hires are nervous about meeting everyone. The best way to get them to open up is to share an embarrassing story about yourself during a company-wide meeting. This will make them laugh, which will help them relax and let their guard down. When they see that their leader is down to earth, they are more likely to be themselves. Unfortunately, many times leaders believe they must be stern and display themselves as the picture of perfection 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They believe that this is the best way to get respect. However, the truth is, this is one of the worst things you can do as a leader. You must be able to be honest with your team about your weaknesses, because this is the best way to improve your own credibility and get them to respect you. There's no one that wants to work for a leader that seems fake. After all, you wouldn't want your employees to be fake, would you? If you embrace your weirdness and start being open about it around your employees, they will too. Before you know it, everyone will be acting like themselves, and the office environment will be much more fun. The company will become innovative. You know that it can be difficult to get all of your team members to where they can speak up when they have an idea. However, sometimes that's where the best ideas come from. And if you, as the leader, will start to voice some unconventional ideas in company meetings, you may find that everyone else will start to chime in with their own ideas. In some cases, you may find that it's fun to throw out an idea that you know the team is going to veto. This will indicate to the team that their ideas can't be that strange or bad and encourage them to speak up more often. Since you're the leader, your team members will feel good about themselves when their idea is voted in over yours. Sure, it means that you lose the spotlight for a moment, but it builds the confidence of your team members, and they'll start innovating without your encouragement. You'll make better hiring decisions. Once the team members start to let their inner weirdness show, it will begin to rub off on those that you interview. When an interviewee comes in, they'll see what it will be like to work at your company. They'll see that everyone in the office is quirky and proud to let it show. In some cases, you may have interviewees that are not looking for that type of environment. You don't want those people anyway. Start the interview by having a few fun and unique questions. Then gradually ease them into the weirdness by inviting them to a company social. At the social, be authentic and share some embarrassing stories about yourself. When this is over, you and the applicant will know whether or not they're a good fit. Conclusion. Leaders tend to struggle with letting their weirdness show, or, as some people put it, letting their freak flag fly. However, the truth is, a little weirdness or a few quirks can't be a bad thing. After all, when you show your weirdness, you'll find that employees feel free to be themselves, will learn to be more innovative, and you'll make better hiring decisions.